Today's the March 27th, 2026, moving right along. John Lee, St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. Good to see you. I only got a couple announcements, not much, but we do have, I got a couple things. Next Friday, we will have our first Friday of the month will be with Catherine Davis, our Ask the Attorney segment, which we always have. And she's always entertaining and very educational too, I might add. I mean, we learned how the judges were picked last time, which I had no idea, and I went back and watched that. It's very interesting on how they do that. And let's see, we've got well, I did mention this. It's not really with us, but it is kind of got the Small Business Expo coming up at the St. Charles Convention Center on the 7th. That's Tuesday. And that will be, I don't know if I don't have any links or anything for it right now, but that's easy to find. And it's a no cost. And you get it's a good place to meet people and see what's going on around St. Louis. They do have some good workshops and some good speakers also. Then on, let's see here, 17th of April, Victoria Cohort, she was here last week from Pet Screen. She'll be back for another session for assistant animals and fair housing, which ought to be pretty interesting. She's very knowledgeable. I thought she was a pretty good speaker. I know we had some pretty good comments from other people about her, and a lot of things I didn't know. And I know there's a lot we can learn from her. And if you didn't get your workbook that we sent out, let me know, and I'll send that out to you because that's worth looking at. As far as going back and just having it for your own information. Then on the 23rd of April, we're going to do a wholesaling workshop. That's going to be just a smaller group. That's not going to be on a Friday. That is going to be on a Thursday. And I'll get more information out as have that available for you. Then also we are going to do well, as you know, I talked about the Scott Walterbach was here a few weeks ago. We talked about the Missouri Tax Sale Seminar number 5 coming up in Jackson, Missouri on June 26th. And I know we put out some information on that, and we'll have some more on that if you're not registered. I know a lot of you guys are already registered, but mark your calendars. And there is a virtual option if you can't make it down to Jackson. I think it's worth taking off the day and coming down there myself. So that's what a lot of us will be doing. But what we're going to do then in May, I think it's tentatively on the 21st, we're going to have a pre-tax sale seminar workshop, okay, to kind of get us ready for it, because the workshop itself, it has a lot of high-level people and attorneys and things. So we'll go ahead and kind of get us. We did that last year, and that seemed to be pretty helpful. We'll do that again this year. Then I know a lot of you guys were here yesterday, but if you weren't, Brian from Landlord Ops, Brian Edelman there did a really good workshop for us on the AI for landlords. So, I mean, it's not for everybody, but it is for a lot of us. So if you haven't seen that, I'll go get the link and put that in the chat too, so you'll be able to go check that out because it's worth watching the replay. So, and I think that's all I got.
Just a quick note, John. I did send out the workbook about an hour ago.
Okay,
You should have it in your emails if you attended the webinar yesterday. And it might be in your spam. You might want to double check your spam. And if it is, I'd appreciate it if you just mark that not as spam. That'd be helpful.
great. Yeah, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Yeah, I know there was a lot of information we covered. It was really, really, really good. And it's always worth going back and looking through the workbook because even if you take good notes, there's a lot of stuff. I know, I try to take notes on everything I do, but there's always stuff you miss. So it's always good with a refresher. The more time you look at stuff, the better off it is. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Um, let's see, Dave, we were looking for Victoria's contact. You talking about Victoria Cowart? Yeah, I don't have her direct line, but I do have their information. Let me dig through that while we're meeting today, and I'll put that in there for you also. And let's see. Okay. And Daryl, if you can't put that in the chat, was not able to attend. Are you on the list? Are you talking about Brian? Daryl, are you talking about Brian's workshop from yesterday? And I don't know if you can put that in the chat. Maybe give him your yeah, maybe give Brian your email and he could send that out to you. if you don't mind doing that. That's probably the easiest thing because I don't know if you were registered or not. And we will, so anyway, yeah, that'd probably be best. Okay. All right. And I think that is all I have. Laura, are you over there? You want to give us our disclaimer?
Can I ask
I
one question?
can.
What was the workshop on again?
Yesterday?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was AI for landlords.
okay,
Brian from Brian Edelman up here. We could have him talk a little bit more about it in a few minutes.
okay, because I missed, okay, thank you.
Okay, sure.
All righty. Good morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, I'm back on here. Okay, who would like to start us off with something today? A lot of good stuff. I just got that link here and I'll put that in there for the replay from yesterday. We just got that up for Brian here. Let's see. Here we are. There you go. If you didn't have a chance to join us yesterday, because I know not everybody did, but a lot of good people did, and actually, I think everybody stayed till the end too. It was very informative, and we could have probably stayed a couple more hours because there's so many good tips and things that we came across. So, all right, let's see here. Okay, Daryl, you got something in there. You were looking for a handyman. You want to unmute yourself and tell us what you're looking for there? If you're able to, are you?
Yes, I am. Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm in 2 and 3 meetings this afternoon. I'm trying to make sure I get ready to be. Yeah, I have a handyman that worked on I have 2 properties and he worked on it, and I know that what he's charging is not right. And I'm just trying to get someone that can fix things and get things set up for me, and someone that's dependable. And I was told to look at Facebook and whatnot, and I know there's always strength in numbers, so I'm sure that somebody here may know someone, or just know a place to go find some people.
What type of work are you needing done? Are you looking at doing, Daryl?
Uh, Things around the house like uh, windows, some light electrical. Like I have a home over in Hazelwood that needs to get to pass the inspection. I need to install a vent hood over the stove. Things like that. Fix and repair some siding, things of that sort.
Okay, so quite a variety of things, and that's in Hazelwood.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if anybody has anybody they recommend. What's the best contact information that you'd like to give out for people to get a hold of you, Daryl?
I put my email address in the chat, and
Okay.
that'd be
If you
great.
don't mind mentioning the way you'd like people to get a hold of you verbally too, for someone watching the replay, that's usually helpful also.
Okay, yeah, my email, Darrell, Darrell, at strongproperties with an S.net. I also have a phone number that they can reach as well. It's 314-591-6910.
0.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Yes, indeed. And I'm
Very
looking to
good.
get some things done as early as next week, to get some things set up, because I have one house that needs to get that set up, and I also have one coming in the summer I'm getting ready to rent out. So I want to make sure that everything is ready to go and ready to get staged.
Okay. It looks like Eulinda might have a recommendation. Eulinda, are you there? Can you unmute yourself maybe and tell us about
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
it?
Um, Paul Wandale, he's someone that I use often, and I've used him for years. He installed my microwave day before yesterday. He fixed an issue I had with a lock, and he's also given me an estimate, Daryl, for some siding replacement on one of my properties. So
Oh
he's
wow.
he's I don't think he does electrical, but you can check with him and see. But he does pretty much everything, and he is reliable.
That's great. I appreciate that. I will definitely give that gentleman a call. I'm sorry, my video is unavailable for some reason right now. It's not letting me do it to get my video with you guys. Um, but yeah, I will make a copy of that number that you placed in the
Okay,
chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Eulinda. That's very, very helpful. In
You're
fact, you might
welcome.
want to make a note of that. And yeah, I appreciate you mentioning your video too, Daryl, because people trust you a little bit more and when they get to know who you are and see what you look like. I don't know why. And people, a lot of times people like to hide their selves with the video, but we all look a little bit better, I think. And so just mentioning that always, kind of refreshes people's memory. So thank
Yeah,
you.
I've been here. Yeah, I'll see if I can do something here. It's not letting me do it. So
No, all
let's see what's
good.
going
Yeah,
on.
all good. I understand. Doesn't always
Yeah,
work. I
let
know
me
when I'm
see.
on my mobile phone, it doesn't always work too.
Okay, I'm gonna log out and log back in and see if I can do it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, thanks. And then Brian, looks like you have was it a referral for electric?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure if he was looking for a general contractor or an electrician, but I have a GC as well I'm about to put in here.
Okay.
Basically, whatever you need, I got guys.
Okay. Well, we always appreciate referrals.
I got people.
Uh-oh. Laura got up too early today. Or not early enough. I'm one of the two.
No, I like it. She was doing her Johnny Cash impression. I was a fan of that. I thought, is that the man in black?
Looks like it, doesn't
Yeah, we
it?
can see you now, Daryl.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, hey, Daryl. There he is. Very good.
Here,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
I joined from the app this time. That's what happened.
Oh,
Gotcha,
okay.
gotcha.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And okay, Brian, you were talking about what's this? Kevin Hubs, is it? From
Yeah, Kevin
electrician?
Hubs, Pure Home Electric. I'm not sure. Daryl, were you looking for an electrician or a GC? I might have missed it.
Just light electrical. Like there's a in the laundry room, the light is flickering in there,
Hmm.
and so that's something that has to be fixed for the inspection. So it's nothing major, just something
Okay.
light. Yeah.
Are you in, where are you? Are you around St. Louis?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. With the
Yeah.
bridge behind you, you might be on the West Coast. Yeah, well, either Kevin Hubs or Brandon Martins from Martins Pen Contracting. Both are great. I put their contact info in the chat. I'm not sure. Can you see that?
Let me see here.
I
I
don't
think
know
I
if since you
can.
left and came back, I don't know if the chat is still there. Oop, we can't see or hear you.
Okay.
Just
Come
try,
on now.
just
This is crazy. Okay.
it's okay.
This is crazy. Okay. Let me.
Are you doing that on purpose, Daryl?
No, I'm not. And this is crazy. So I'm trying to get this together here, and this is not helping me. Quit laughing at me. Let me laugh at me, y'all. This is ridiculous. Okay, let me see. I can't find the chat. Okay. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm gonna find it. Just keep going. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find
If
it.
not, let us know. Maybe we can re-put that in there for you.
Yes, sir.
Uh, that's funny. Yeah, it looks like Destiny also has somebody. Are you there, Destiny? You could a recommendation, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm here. But I put it in the chat there. I don't know if you are able to see the chat. I tagged you as well. But Charles Anderson, he's a contractor. Phone number 314-399-5466. And he's very dependable and also reasonably priced.
Nice. Thank you, Destiny. There's a couple of good referrals for you, Daryl.
And there, I'll email you that contact information as well, so you can have it in your email.
It looks like he's saying something, but he's moving around so quick, it's hard to say. Looks like he's flying by that bridge.
I'm trying to fix this thing. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to work this out. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, lots of good things there. Let's see here. Dana, do you have a question there? You or James? That looks like you got your hand up.
Yeah, James does.
Yeah, you kind of, I guess, basically answered it. I was looking for a siding guy. I don't need all the siding done. Just have some pieces that need to be secured back. I've done that a couple of times, but they keep popping loose. So maybe I find somebody else that can do it. So that's what I was looking for.
Well, you got some good referrals there from Eulinda, Dusty, and Brian. So make sure you write all those down.
Right.
Yeah,
I got him.
all is good. He even patched up the whole siding needs to be replaced, but he did a patch job where it was really bad, so I could pass inspection, and I thought he did a great job on it. As far as patching goes.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. And I wanted to also find out how Eulinda's grandson was doing too.
He is recovering. He's still in the hospital. He's gonna be there probably at least another week. He's had 4 skin graft surgeries and another one next week. His spirits are up and down. He gets some bad days and some good days, but he's hanging in there, and we're all hanging in there for him. So I appreciate you asking. And I spoke with Christopher the other day. Thank you again, Christopher. And yeah, but he's hanging in there and getting better. He did lose his right ear, so yeah.
Yeah,
But
continue.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Well, we'll keep him in our prayers also, Eulinda, and just keep wishing him the best.
Thank you, John. Thank
So,
you. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate that.
yeah. Looks like Daryl found the chat. Lost the video and found the chat, so that's all that matters right now. Okay, I think we're up to date there. Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us? A lot of good referrals already. Okay, you guys got the workbook? Okay, good. And all right. Anybody else working on anything or got anything for sale? And a lot of people are still kind of sitting by the sidelines now. I think there's a lot of good opportunities, but I know with the way the rates have been kind of hanging on for loans, and then the way the prices have seemed to be in the market, people are kind of just sitting there. It looks like in a lot of cases. I still think there's a lot of opportunities. You just have to maybe look a little harder right now.
Eulinda, this is Bobby. Do you have an email address where you can be reached?
Yes, I'll put it in the chat, Bobby.
Okay. And phone number, I know I've had that before. Your rental property, is that all single family, or are you renting to some of the people from St. Patrick's, shared housing?
No, right now I only have single families. I had a multi, but it just became too much for me, so I sold it. And so I just have single families right now. Yes. Actually, I don't know if you were on the call yesterday, Bobby, but we had a big
No.
presentation from Marquita Kerwan about, potential opportunities to get together and rehab properties to try to, help the housing crises in St. Louis. And that was a very good meeting. A lot of people were like, yeah, I want to, jump on board and be part of that. And we still have those meetings, St. Louis Metro Housing Collective, if you want to join that one day. We're going to switch to, instead of bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, going to be once a month meetings. And we're going to have also some lunch and learn sessions. So I'll put my contact information. It probably is easier to reach me by phone. I'm not a
Okay.
consistent email checker. And if you call and I don't answer, feel free to leave a message and I will call you back. I get so many spam calls and people calling asking to buy my properties. They're driving me crazy. So yeah, but here's my contact information.
Thank you. Well, maybe we should create a board game together with all the postcards we get to buy our properties.
Oh, I know. How do they get your information? I have one property. It's like everyone wants that one property that I don't know why that one is getting all the hits. I don't understand.
You're on the list.
Yeah.
I get postcards that my son owned years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So, Dave, do you know how they're getting our information to?
I really don't know. It's, they advertise these classes on how to buy real estate. That's however they teach them how to do it. I don't know where they get the information because obviously tax records aren't recurrent. So that's not going to be where they get them from. So I don't know where they got something for a property that's been sold, 8, 9 years ago.
Right.
There are programs that create addresses and names and phone numbers that there's so many programs that you can use. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. I've used them before. Like, I've sent out postcards to areas and I can target whether it's a male or a female owner. I can target the age range. I can target, the number of bedrooms, the square footage,
Right.
or the year of the house. So, and a lot of those programs don't get updated regularly. So I get postcards a lot too. It's just kind of annoying because I want to call these people back and just say, and play with them and be like, yeah, I'll sell you my house and see what
Yeah.
you have to say.
I get phone calls more than postcards. And shortly after, my grandson had his accident, someone called and I did talk to them and I said, well, right now is not a good time. Maybe if you could call me in a month. Do you know they called me back the next hour? And I'm like, Dad, right now we're dealing with something else. I'm not thinking about selling anything. I'm thinking about my grandson. And I couldn't believe they called me right back.
Hmm.
They're so pushy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell them, you give me 12 million, then we have a deal.
Mhm. Yeah, they don't update them though, like Dave said, for decades. Sometimes I still get calls on stuff we sold in 2009. So
Wow.
stuff, and it's just like updates from Zillow. Some of the pictures I put on back in that time period are still there, and the house has changed hands 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
So
It's
you just never
remarkable.
know. But yeah, well, you know what I do with most of my postcards now, I use it to start our fire in the fireplace because I have a shortage of junk mail these days. So it works pretty good.
Yeah, John, I'm getting calls from several people, asking that I want to sell a property that I don't even own, never owned it.
Yeah.
And so I got to talking to them and I was just filling them out. And I think they were some newbies and they got hold to a list, I guess. And I told them, I said, look, y'all say you got ripped off. You need to go back and find out what's going on. But your list is not right because they haven't even seen this property. And they calling me up.
Well, maybe like Dana said, if the offer's enough, you can go make a deal with the owner. You guys can split the profit. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to
Well,
do
they will hang
that.
up when you say something like, several $1,000,000.
Well,
They
you never
hang up
know.
then.
50,000 might be enough to go make a deal with the guy. You know?
No, I'm going to make it worthwhile.
Okay. Okay. Unlike your sidewalk, did they ever get that straightened out for you guys?
It looks like we're just going to have to go with a whopping $75 deal, look like.
Hopefully a little more, but
And so,
whatever.
because she keeps wanting to sign the papers and, they bumped it up $25, but so, so that probably might be close to the end of it because they want to start working over there to get things done. So,
Yeah, you can put a lot of time and effort into that and then never get anywhere when it comes to, city workers, I guess, or this, so it'll work out one way or the other for you, I'm sure. And if nothing else, you'll
Yeah.
have some good experience for next time too.
Absolutely.
yeah, correct.
Yep. Sometimes they're expensive lessons and sometimes it's just the way it works,
I told my son if he didn't get over here and help me with a few projects, I was going to sell his house. Because I got postcards asking me to.
Well, yeah, maybe you ought to send him a couple of those postcards, Bobby. So, all right, let's see here.
Yeah, it's not his any.
Let's see. Did I miss anything? Daryl found the chat but missed. Let's see. Wanted to repost the other one. Did you see the first one that are you talking about the one Eulinda put in there, Daryl? Or the ones?
We lost him again.
Yeah, I can
Yeah, we
see him,
did.
but I don't hear him. Okay.
Oh, there he is. You're on mute, Daryl. Oh, there he is.
This is like a sitcom I'm on right now. No, no, the first one the gentleman sent, Brian, I think it was.
Oh,
The
okay.
first one, yeah, I didn't get the first one. Well, it went off when I logged back in.
Okay, well, did you get Kevin Hubbs or I sent two, Martin's Pen Contracting and Kevin Hubbs. Did you see those either?
Maybe you could just put those in again, Brian, if you don't
Yeah,
mind, if it's
I'll
not
drop
too
them in again.
difficult. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got Ann Bollinger. You have a fourplex for sale. Are you there, Ann?
Let's see here.
Hi, John.
Hi, Ann.
Yeah, it's the same one I talked about a few weeks ago, just because I haven't priced it yet. Yeah, fourplex, South City, fully rented. Some units are below market and it will need repairs and updates. And the phone number I put in the text in the chat, 775-815-3684. And text is always best because I'm a realtor during the day, so usually pretty busy. But that's the best way to reach me.
Okay, yeah, I think a text is a good idea nowadays too, if somebody knows you, or even, or if they're just inquiring, because we do get, like Eulinda said, so many phone calls. I had one similar like hers the other day. The guy called and left a message and then called about 10 minutes later, left the exact same message. And you could tell he didn't know me from anywhere. But we get so much stuff these days and it's just, so that's really a good idea, Ian. So, okay, so, and what part of town was that in? It was South City, you said? Okay. All right, and that's a fourplex, so fully rented? So
Yes.
you have some built-in cash flow right out of the gate then. All right, thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything else? Other than Daryl missing some contractors, I think we're up to date there. Thank you. All right.
Is there a replay on that AI for landlords?
For Brian, yeah. I put that chat in there or in the chat.
Okay.
It should be, it might have got buried. If you can't find that, let me know and I'll go back and find it here. Yeah, we got that up put last night and barely got it up, but we got it up. So, and Brian got the workbook sent out too, yes, last night he said, so which is great. Yeah, Laura said she's got hers. I haven't had a chance to look through all my emails yet. It takes me sometimes a day or two. All right, well, there we go. Brian's up on top of it. Thank you. All right.
What, answer it?
Okay. Anybody else got anything for us here? Our weather, we went from swimming suits yesterday to winter coats today, man. It's quite a difference today.
Quite a difference.
Man. So trying to figure out we got a conference next week for a couple of days and I'm trying to figure out what to wear and I guess I'm just going to have to layer it up because we don't know. This time of year is just kind of crazy.
Is that a real estate conference or is real estate related?
Yeah, it is. It's real estate related. Yeah, it's through the Life Surge. I don't know. It's a thing we went to a couple weeks ago, and they're having it's not a real big one, but it's here in St. Louis. I always like to go. I don't really I don't want to say I don't want to learn anything because I will always learn something, but it's more of a networking for us than I think than anything. Because you just never know. It only takes, as you know, it only takes one person that you meet that can change a lot of things. And it's not that we need to change a lot of things, but you just never know. And we're also able to, it's always good to try to add some value where you go to. Like kind of like you do right here, Eulinda. Always adding
Yeah,
value. We appreciate you and.
I appreciate you guys. I look forward to these meetings.
Yeah, and I got your email late yesterday, or I would have wanted to go to, I didn't realize the collaborative was yesterday afternoon. And because I really wanted to go in there and just kind of see what was going on. I know you guys had a special speaker. You said, was it Marquita? Is that her? Is that her name?
Marquita, yes.
Yeah.
And her presentation actually took up the whole hour, but it was very good. She even had a sergeant from St. Anne Police Department speaking on how they help to monitor her properties that she has in St. Anne. And that based on her security system, if there are issues, they are able to quickly address them. But it was a very good presentation. I don't know if it was recorded. I can check with Jonathan and ask because it was a lot of information, but it was good information. And at the end, so many people were like, yeah, I want to be a part of this. She has funding in place. She is looking in areas that have been neglected and forgotten, and that's a good thing.
Mm.
There is a need for affordable housing.
Yeah, there sure is. And that's, I really would have liked to seen that, but I mean, and listen to her, but that's just, we can't always do everything. And if I would have known ahead of time, I could have probably planned it a little better, but I just,
Yeah,
it's hard to keep up with everything. And
it
I didn't have
is.
it. I didn't have a
And
notification.
Jonathan, unfortunately, he does have a habit of sending the meeting notifications late, which I know he's busy, but could send them a little earlier, maybe in the morning. That would be helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe a day ahead of time would be good too. But
Yeah,
if I could get it on my calendar, if it's the same time, you said they're getting ready to
they are
change it.
changing it to once a month. And yesterday they took a poll on keeping it at 3:30. Most of the people wanted to keep it at 3:30, but he's going to send out a poll to everyone on the mailing list and ask. Yeah, because yesterday it was about 50 people on the call.
Mhm.
So, but the majority of that 50 that keep it at 3:30.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the fourth Thursday of every month, starting next.
The fourth Thursday.
As
Okay.
I get an updated meeting invite, I'll send it out. I'll let you guys know.
Okay, appreciate that. Yeah, love to be on that list because I know they go over a lot of good things and a lot of good people come together to kind of
Yes,
collaborate in St. Louis. So that's great.
absolutely. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. If you let us know, that would be great. Okay,
Okay.
Latricia, you have, let's see here. You try to reach, I'll be there, try to reach you now. Well, I've been looking for, okay, okay, and you put your email in there? Okay. Did you, you have your hand up too, I see. Did you want to go ahead and say something?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, John, thank you. Eulinda, right?
Yes.
Hi. Yes, I have been trying to get in touch with you for about maybe a month now. I went to the website to try to look for the calendar details for the monthly meetings, but I didn't find it. So if you could please, I just posted my email address in the chat. I can give it to you again, but if you could please add me to the list, I would like to join
Okay.
that meeting.
Maybe you
And
should send her a postcard.
postcard. No, I don't know anything about that. I heard you guys talking about that. I do not know. But yeah, they do have systems that call these people. I don't know anything about that. But wow. John, I was at Live Search also 2 Sundays ago down
Okay.
at the Chaffetz,
Mhm.
and that was awesome. So I will actually be attending the weekend event.
Oh, okay, we're going Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Is the ones we're
Okay.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
The weekend's really tough for us right now to do anything. We've got other obligations and commitments, but
Hmm.
so yeah, but yeah, it ought to be good. We went a few years ago. I was really happy to get my picture with Nick Vujicic again, the guy with no arms
Okay.
and no legs.
Okay.
That's he is the one that taught me a few years ago, and I still think of him. Every time I think I have a problem, I think of Nick and scratch my nose, and no, I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
True. True.
It's
They were
just
great.
yeah, yeah, it was a very good event. And I mean, I really think it's good because you get to meet a lot of people. And I always like to go to do the thing where you get your pictures with them too. I just think that's a little, for me, that goes a long way. Just kind of get to rub shoulders with people and kind of, look them eye to eye because you can tell a lot, I think anyway, by people just from the, being around them. So that's great. I'm glad you were there, Latricia. You can let us know what you think about it too. You're going to, I know they have them right away in St. Louis, and I think that's very important too, because a lot of these things you go to, they'll have the seminars way down the road, and you kind of get out of it a little bit by having it right away. It's a little bit that you have to get into, but it's really, you have to do right away. But I think it's really important to do that. So can't wait to hear your experience too.
Sure thing.
John, just yesterday, I sent one of my tenants a YouTube clip of Nick Vujicic.
Yeah,
I said, see what a good attitude this guy with no arms and no legs has?
yeah.
Because we're talking about if we're going to renew her lease, she's going to work on her attitude.
Well,
It's improving.
Well, we all have room for improvements when it comes to our attitude, I think. But Nick always reminds me, and ever since I met him back in 2023, I just think of that. Anytime I have a problem, I scratch my nose and think of Nick. Like yesterday, we were coming back from the lake, and I hit a big log, and it hit the side of my tire. We have brand new tires in the truck. Poked a big hole in it, and of course it's hot. Yesterday was like summertime, and I'm laying on the gravel road messing with this, because I don't change the tires enough to even know how they work. I have to get the book out to see where the thing goes and all that. And we're sitting there, and I scratched my nose and said, "You know what? Nick would love to be doing this right now." And that's exactly how I feel about it. And it changes my attitude, but attitude is that's how it is, Bobby. You're absolutely right on that.
Is that what Laura said to you? You say Nick would like to do that?
Well, no, that's what I said, but everybody
I didn't say a word.
she may not. There was no bad word said.
My wife just said, a good wife. She knows how to restrain her tongue.
No, her and Danny actually got out and was on the gravel road looking at geodes and fossils and stuff like that. So they had an educational session while I did too. And now I get to go buy another new tire that weren't very old. I think our tires had probably less than 1,000 miles on them. So that's always a fun experience. So
Those
anyway,
pink,
always a good reminder though. We don't have it as bad as we think. Sometimes we just stop and look at it, see what's going on.
those pink tires never last anyway.
Yeah. Ah. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So all right. Who else has something for us today? We doing? Got a few minutes left here. Everybody else all up to date, got everything sold, everything bought you want, everything figured out for the springtime? Everybody else quiet, everybody else ready for lunch then, I guess, huh?
Well, you've all heard, I'm sure you've already heard that we have a new city manager in Ferguson. Right? You've all heard that.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, anyway, we're glad.
Who is it? Do you know who it is?
Well, the assistant city manager is promoted to city manager. Dave Musgrave's his name.
Okay.
And
Is that
he
going
got
to be good
real-
for us?
He's more civilized.
Okay.
I think that's a good description.
Is the inspector over there, what's his name, Brian? Is he still there?
Not that I really don't know.
Yeah, because he was there for a long time. He was a pretty good guy. I know.
I don't think he is.
You don't think he is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I tried to get him to come and talk to us a couple times, but he was always so busy. But he did a lot of things that that I thought was up above the beyond the call of duty. A lot of times he would call you on things and let you know things before it would be a problem, or if it just I don't
Well,
know.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's exactly what I'm talking to our new city manager about. I met with while he was assistant city manager, I've talked to him a number of times that being more diplomatic and not using all muscle, because sometimes you're just squeezing blood out of a turnip, especially as older people that, they don't necessarily know how to get it done. That's a problem. And Brian was good the way you're talking about referral and helping them, because they need encouragement, part of the problem.
Yeah, Brian Harper. I just found his name. I still have his cell phone number, but he was always a really good guy to deal with. Like you said, he was a little more compassionate. He would take things as a common sense, rather than just
Can you
write
give me
up.
that number? Because I would like to find out if he is there.
Well, I don't want to give you his cell phone number without his permission.
Okay, well, you can give me mine.
Yeah.
Because we are trying to work with those inspectors more.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because he did tell me it was confidential years ago. I got a
Okay.
note down here.
Well, I can find out. Thanks.
Yeah, and if you need to, yeah, I'd be curious to see if he's still there or not, because he was really a good guy. I know when they tried to pass that many years ago, the landlord licensing thing, I think they ended up getting it through anyway. But I
Yeah,
remember
they
going
did.
to the town hall meeting, and there was one guy there that had like 28 properties, I believe, if I remember right. And that's when they were all charging us. Well, I don't even know what it is now. It's like $100 and something a year, and 115 or something last I remember. We've changed ours around since then. Now we do owner financing, so we just have our happy homeowners now that live there, so I don't have to deal with the city anymore. But I know that was a big deal. You had to have them come in every year and do all that. Is it still that way? Do you know?
Well, officially, yes.
Okay.
But what I mean is, I think they've kind of forgotten about it. DOJ, we pay them $500,000 a year. Some things focus your attention a little bit differently. And that's pretty big.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe you could let us know how that goes. And if you do happen to come across,
Okay.
I'd like to hear more about the new guy too. See what's going
Okay.
on with that, because it's always good to keep up on stuff as much as possible. I know we only got 120 municipalities around, something like that. So it's always good to keep up on them.
Well, the outgoing city manager was both city manager and fire chief. And fire chief's enough of a job that you don't, a lot of things were going undone.
Well,
I guess that's the way it is in a lot of places.
yeah, there's a lot of things going on, that's for sure. Yeah. Let's see, Latricia, let's see, you want to know if anyone works with seller financing properties? What exactly did you were you asking there? Are you-
All right, yes. The anyone that has listings that they are doing rent to own with the seller financing.
Okay, well, rent to own and seller financing are two different things.
Well, yes, they are. So
Mhm.
purchase option, that's what it is. Option
Okay,
to buy.
that's another thing that's separate.
Mhm.
Lease options is not owner financing either.
Exactly.
Those are different things. Yeah.
Yes, sir. But that is what I'm speaking about. Owner option listings.
Are you talking about like a realtor that does those specifically, or what exactly are you looking
Either are wholesaler or realtor. It's not.
Okay, because there's a lot of different ways to do it. I know, we do our owner financing a little different than everybody, well, actually a lot different than most people do.
Mm-hmm.
Rent to own, you hear a lot of. I'll tell you, when I list a property for sale, if somebody even mentions, I got one right now, and somebody even mentions that, I know it's not for me,
Mm-hmm.
because and it's a mentality is what it is. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing with the lease option. The problem that, I always have problems with lease options. 97% of them don't go
Mm.
through, first of all. But a problem with a lease option is actually there's two problems. First of all, it's a lease, so it's a time period.
Yes.
Second is it's an option. And my experience is the first time they have to do a major repair or something, they exercise their option of not buying the property. And then I've had a lot of situations where it actually turns out to be worse than a renter. I'd rather have a
A
tenant
renter.
situation. Yeah, almost actually every time.
Oh, wow.
I've done a lot of them over the years, and they just don't. Many years ago, I worked for a rent-to-own company that did furniture and TVs, and back in the day, VCRs and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it's a mentality, is what it is, and there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with it. It's just what it is. And rent-to-own houses, I seen one recently down here in Park Hills that somebody I know did, and he showed pictures of it, and it was worse than any renter I've ever seen leave the house.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a mentality. That's what and that's my words, not anybody else's. I'm saying that because that's what it is. And a lease option the same way. I know I wrote
Mm.
one of my books about when I lost like $25,000 on a lease option. I would
Mm.
never do that again. I just won't do it. There's a lot of people, they talk about it too. There's a lot of people that teach lease options. Yeah, you're going to get this non-refundable fee.
Mm-hmm.
This lease option fee, yeah, that may be true, but it may cost you a lot more than that to fix your property up, and it may cost you more than that to get them out of there. I mean, that's just considerations you need to think about. What I want. I'd rather have less money down and have a happy homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I deal with is we want happy homeowners. We've got houses we haven't seen in years, and we get a lot more money for them than we would have on a retail basis, just the way we do it.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for that.
So, but it's just different. If anybody wants to chime in and say anything, feel free to do so. Because I know a lot of people use those strategies and they work for them. I mean, there's no right or wrong on it when it comes to anything like that. It's just I can just tell you what's worked for us and what works for me.
You say lease option, you mean you rent it to the person with the option to buy it?
Yeah, typically the way lease options usually work, Eulinda, is it'll be a term like you'll give me an amount of money, say $10,000 that's non-refundable. It will go towards the purchase price. We'll have maybe a 2 or 3 year contract, 5 year, whatever it is. And then at the
Yeah.
end of that term, I give you the option to buy it at whatever amount we set the price on today. Okay.
Right.
And sometimes that amount will apply that you pay every month. Sometimes it won't. You're better off if you don't, from a seller standpoint, you're better off if you don't have the money every month. You just treat it like rent, because if you give them partial credits, that can be another stickler if it comes down to a bad situation and you have to get rid of the people. Okay, I've seen a lot
Yeah.
of people have a problem with that too, because then you have a hard time kicking them out because they have an equity position in the house. So your paperwork and your disclosures make a huge difference when you set all them up.
Yeah. I had something similar, and the other bad part about that is if they don't pay or they leave, then you're stuck with the property. And you might not want that, which was my case. It was in an area I did not want to have. I was trying to help this young lady out. She wanted to open up a daycare. Everything went great for 6 months. And then on the seventh month, everything went downhill. She left. I got stuck with the property. I hated that property. I finally got rid of it like 2 years ago, but I hated it.
Yeah, that can be a tough situation.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from. I've been in similar situations. That's why we just don't do it, you know?
Right, I don't blame you. And I just wanted to also mention, if anyone calls me, that is not a mobile number. That's my home number, landline. So if you send a text, I'm not gonna get it.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. Yeah. We used to get texts, or a lot of times people would get upset because they tried to send text on the landline.
Exactly.
It's like, well, you're not getting nowhere, you know?
I lost a friend because of that. She sent
Aw.
me a text and I didn't get it. And when someone sends a text, I'll send a thumb up or a heart emoji so they know I got it. And that didn't happen because I never got it. And then she came, she wanted to stay at my house for a visit. And when she got here, I hadn't received the text and I didn't know and I couldn't accommodate her. And she got mad at me.
Aw.
Oh, well.
Well, maybe she wasn't really a real close friend then.
No, she wasn't, I guess.
Yeah. Well, yeah, misunderstandings. That's another thing with the text too. You don't understand the emotions behind them, and that could be a problem. Yeah.
That's why I don't like texting.
I don't either, to
I'm
be
not a
honest with you.
texter.
Yep. Yep. Pick up the phone and call me and we can talk.
Pick up the phone and call me.
Unless I don't know your number, and then you better text me first so I can not answer or answer.
God was looking out for you, Eulinda.
Say that again.
God sent his angel to look out for you.
You're probably right, Bobby.
Did you have something you wanted to say, Dana? I see your hand up there. Or James, one of the two.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I think you answered it. I was going to ask you, what made you said that you would rather just have a regular renter as opposed to doing a lease option. And I was going to ask you, why did you say that? But you kind of mentioned it as far as why.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people have good, situations that way. I've just never have, and I've never seen one, to be honest. I mean, they're just not, I think they're far and few between. The national average says 97% of them don't go through as on paper. So my experience just is they exercise that option as soon as they think they got to pay for something or something else happens. There's just a lot of things that go on. So, I mean, you're welcome to do, of course, whatever you want with it. And everybody, a lot of the people that teach about the non-refundable refunds and all, I mean, deposit money and all that kind of stuff. That seems to be a drop in the bucket when it comes down to it. Yeah, like I said, I'd rather just get a little bit less up front and then have somebody that's a happy homeowner. It's their home. There's no options involved. You're buying it. When the bank, you borrow money from the bank to buy your home, there ain't no option involved. You're paying for your home. It's yours. Your heater goes out. You're not calling the bank and saying, I'm not making my payment this month. you know, you just don't do that. And that's the way I want to, deal with them. I'd much rather just have a straight renter because renter, you know exactly what you got. You've got, you've got your term set up. You're paying so much for their house and you agree to the maintenance and everything else that you agree to. So
Yeah.
my experience just works better that way.
Yeah, I would never do another one, Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Thank
learned
you
my
guys for that. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything? Let's see, we're kind of all over the place today, but we had some good conversations, some good referrals, and a lot of smiling faces, and then some that smile part-time, like Daryl in between the bridge scenes. And we know he's still smiling. And we know everybody else is smiling there too. So, all right. And we're coming up on the hour, it looks like. The hate is real. Okay, Daryl. I don't know if there's hate involved. I think there's some love still there. All
Every
right.
now and then it helps to reinstall your app. So that might be the problem, Daryl.
And I think Zoom always changed it on me. As soon as I think I know everything, they update something and then I don't know where anything is again, or I can't log in. That happens to me so many times. I'll get ready to start a meeting and I'll have to go relog everything in, and then it won't want to remember my password. And I don't remember my passwords anymore. So that's another whole story. So, all right. Anybody else? If not, I guess we can call it a day. Appreciate everybody.
My wife just said, well, my next password is going to be another story.
Another story? That's a good one.
I said, you're going to have some explanation or asterisk or something else. Edit that because it's not long enough.
I started adding exclamation points to my ones I had because they wouldn't let me use the same ones, even though it's the one they should have. So I just started putting an exclamation point on there. And on some of them, I'm up to 3 now.
Speaking of passwords, it is kind of an issue sometimes. I keep getting these notices. I think they're fake, that I have so many passwords that they're all invalid, that I just figure it's a scam but it keeps showing up.
I don't
Anybody
know.
else experience that? No.
It's not for me, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, have you ever received that kind of a notification?
I get all kinds of them, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like the postcards. We all get them, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got anything for us today? If not, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. I have the replay put up as soon as I can. My new rule is up by 5 o'clock on Sundays, and it probably will be again this time. And but I'll have it up just before the weekend's over. And if nothing else, I guess we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Weekend.